everyone, in today's video I'm going to share with you 5 easy location ideas that you can use for inspiration the next time you're stuck on where to do your next photo shoot. So just in case you don't know, this is part 2, so I'll leave part 1 linked down below in case you guys want to have a look. So the first location idea I have is a lake, and this is one of my favorite photo shoot locations and unfortunately one that we do not have a lot of in Australia. So whenever I'm traveling, I'm always really obsessed with finding and visiting lakes to be able to take photos with them. Lakes are a really great location if you want to do a moody style photo shoot or also even a relaxed, more lifestyle-like photo shoot. You can either use the lake as the backdrop for your photos, you could also use the surrounding trees and shrubs or any greenery for your photos. There's usually also piers or docks on lakes as well, which can be really cool for a photo. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can also get your model to jump into the lake where you can get some really beautiful portraits and images in the water. My next location idea is to use a house. So you could either use your house, you could borrow a friend's house, you could either rent a property, or if you're traveling, you can also use your accommodation as a photo shoot location. If you are doing those last two things, I would recommend to ask permission before you do a photo shoot, just in case. And also, if you're shooting with a client and you have a bit more of a budget to work with, you could also go through a location agency to hire some really unique properties to shoot with. So to show you some examples, here is a photo shoot I did on the balcony of a rental property. This was a really great spot to be able to get some really simple classic images of our model against the blank wall. And it was also pouring rain that day, so it was perfect to have an undercover location and to be able to continue shooting while we waited for the rain to stop. And this is another example of a photo shoot I did indoors where we borrowed a friend's house. We brought along a few extra things such as plants and blankets and some teacups to make it look like a little bit more of a lifestyle photo shoot, and ended up taking photos in a bunch of different rooms of the house, making use of the furniture, the bed, and all the little things that made that house unique. A little tip if you like to shoot natural light like me is to keep your subject as close to the window as possible to get the most flattering light for portraits. Idea number 3 is to make your own location. So this is an idea that I've gathered from doing wedding photography, and it also goes hand in hand if you're doing a photo shoot inside a house. Sometimes during wedding ceremonies, the couple might hire a stylist, or the florist or the venue will put together an archway for the outdoor ceremony and cover the whole thing in flowers. So once the ceremony is done and we've moved on to doing some bridal portraits, I'll usually ask the couple to come back and stand in front of the archway so we can get some creative portraits, as flowers make for such a beautiful backdrop. So as I mentioned, this idea also doubles if you're shooting inside a house or just an indoor location and all you have to work with is a plain wall. So to give you an example, I shot this magazine editorial inside a really plain white studio. And to add our own special touch to the photos, we decided to hang up a bunch of flowers to take photos in front of. My fourth photo shoot location idea is fields. So if you've watched any of my behind the scene photo shoot videos, you would know that Christina and I absolutely love taking photos in fields. There are so many things that you can do with this kind of location. You can create a moody photo shoot, you can have a fun and upbeat style photo shoot, which is what we usually do. And you can also do things like get your subject to sit in the grass, and you can play around with angles and create some really interesting photos by using the long grass and some foreground blur and things like that. Another thing I love about using a dried field as a location is that there aren't that many natural colors. So you can either play with making a more monochromatic photo shoot by getting your subject to wear white or cream or something like that. And you can also play around with a bit of a crazier color scheme and get your subject to wear red so they really stand out from the backdrop. So unlike the lakes, in Australia we're pretty lucky with dried fields, and we have quite a lot of them in our countryside, especially during winter and summer, which are the drier seasons. But if you're looking to find some fields to shoot with, I would recommend to take a trip out of the city and a little bit more into the countryside and keep an eye out for acreage and wide open plains of land to be able to find these kinds of fields. Also, keep in mind that if you can't find a really large field to shoot with, sometimes even finding an empty house lot or a tuft of grass on the side of the road is usually more than enough to be able to do a photo shoot with. If you find a small location to work with, I would recommend to use more of a telephoto lens to be able to capture the scene without giving away that you're not actually in a remote location. So something like an 85mm, 100 or 135mm would work great. And then if you've got a wider area of land to work with, then you can use something like the 35mm or a 50mm lens. And my final location idea is a forest. This is a perfect location if you want to take portraits with lots of bokeh, as the branches and the leaves of the forest paired with a wide aperture lens is perfect for that kind of style. A few tips that I have for when you're shooting in a forest is to keep the photo shoot planned for either the morning or the afternoon if you can. I find that during the middle of the day when the sun is harshest, you can get a lot of uneven lighting due to the density of the forest, and that can cause a lot of over or underexposed spots in the background of your shot. So keeping the shoot in the morning or the afternoon where the sun is softer and more directional will help you out a lot in being able to capture more flattering photos. So while I like shooting anywhere in the forest to be able to get a full set of bokeh in the background, something else that I like to do is find clearings in the forest. So this could be anything from a pathway to just a natural clearing created by some low-lying branches. But if you place your subject in that clearing, it can create really nice natural framing for that photo. So those are my 5 easy photo shoot location ideas for you guys. Please let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and which one you might use next time at your photo shoot. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, please check out part 1. I'll leave that link down below. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I make new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!